Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns podcast, and today, well, it's a little overcast, so I've got the light going on, but I'm not fighting with the light. We've had rain this afternoon, so I'm not going to fight with that light anymore. Today is June the 18th. It is Tuesday, and yeah, it's normal podcast day. Now, I wanted to let you know that my Walmart is now in a gated community. Here's proof. See those lovely gates? My Walmart is now a gated community. Now here's the funny thing about that gated community. I joke because our Walmart many times is the what they call a pilot program for other stores nationwide, worldwide. This is an attempt to stop some of their loss prevention. And, I can understand that. But here's the problem. We have a lot of older people in this area, and they tend to use carts as their walker or their cane when they come in to shop. Sometimes they don't buy anything. You cannot exit through there with a cart. What it does is it gives you this god-awful squeal, and it tells you to go through a register. You have to go through a registered line. Now, I have friends that use those little scooters, that you ride in the store. There is no way people are going to stand in line to leave the store. I mean, they really need to use some common sense here. If there is someone that is in one of those scooters, they've got nothing in their cart, they couldn't find what they were looking for, and they need to leave, someone needs to open up those gates to let them out. It's a stupid idea. I had a friend who picked up a prescription. That's all she had in the basket when she was walking out towards the doors. They told her that she couldn't leave through there. She had to go through a register. She'd already purchased, paid for her items. Person at the gate didn't use any common sense whatsoever. And yes, she uses a cart because she has some difficulty walking, and the cart, she can lean against the cart when she needs to so that she doesn't have a lot of back problems walking through the store. So, Walmart, need to get your stuff together and think about it. Either that, or you need to have a lane where people can walk through or ride through, push those carts through to get out. You shouldn't have to go through an actual checkout line to get out of the store. Many times I've gone to the store and not found what I was looking for at Walmart because it was something maybe they carried years ago. And I thought, oh, Walmart will have it. No, Walmart doesn't have it. And then I want to leave. And, I don't mind leaving that cart right there in front of those doors and going out without the cart. But, then you're going to have all these carts sitting all up in front of the stores. And both sides have the gates. So it's going to be interesting. These are the only two finished items I have. And this is with that leftover yarn that I had from the shawl last week. That's it. I do have some finished project bags that I've been making, but I'll show those in a minute. The only other thing that I have been working on is I am still continuing to work on this afghan. It's just a granny rectangular, and this is with the parade yarn that I got free from Dollar Tree. Now there's another addendum to that story. I keep getting emails. Did you forget to pick up your order? Why, no. I've already come and gone. So, who knows what the Dollar Tree is doing. Now, you know last week I had showed you my knit crate, and it does have alpaca in it, and I really like the yarn. It's a beautiful color. But I really like this pattern, and it's the knit pattern. So my friends and I were talking about ways for me to be able to go ahead and do that pattern. I also have a friend who has eczema, and a couple of years ago she had a real bad problem with it, so she got online to order cotton gloves. You can only buy them in a case. So she had like, I don't know, 24, 30, who knows how many come in that case. She had that many sitting around. She said, do you need a pair of cotton gloves? I'll bring them. So she's going to bring me a pair of cotton gloves so I can knit that. That should be interesting. You know, I've never knit with gloves on before. I know the rubber gloves, someone had suggested that. The problem with that is your hands start to sweat. As a nurse, that is one thing that drove me nuts with these gloves. After a while, if you're in there with a patient quite a while, your hands start to really sweat and get icky, and of course the gloves have a little bit of talcum powder that gets icky on your hands. So I'm going to try the cotton gloves and we'll see how that goes. That is it for today's podcast. It's a really exceptionally short one. The only other thing is I have a couple of bags. This is a large zippered bag, and it has a slip pocket on the inside and pink on the interior. It's pretty big. It's probably a good shawl size. Baby Afghan, maybe. The other one is this, and it has no pockets, but it does have the pink on the inside. Let me see if I can get that where it's not so. There we go. It's a little bit better. I hate days that are cloudy. And then I have a project bag that will probably hold at least one skein of yarn. It's probably good for making hats, those kind of things, smaller items. Nice little flowers. It has a maroon interior. It does have the handle, and of course it's got a little bit of a different, two tones on it. That one was kind of fun to make. And this size is not one that a couple of these are not normal sizes that I would make. They're kind of odd shapes, but that's fine. Sometimes you have odd pieces of fabric, and you just go with what you got. The other one, of course, is my favorite, skulls. And who doesn't love a sugar skull? Come on. And it does have the maroon interior as well. And then this one is a little larger. It will probably hold a big super saver, like a 14-ounce super saver, and then your project, little crayons. It does have the handle, and then it has a pink interior. It's just plain pink, no pockets. I do have some small zippered pouches upstairs that I still have to finish sewing those together, but did have enough to do one zippered, and this is probably 7 by 6, maybe 8 by 6. It is a good size. I did choose to leave that a little longer because of some issues that were going on with the bag. The zipper was a little longer and I forgot about cutting it off. I thought, you know what? I'm going to pull it to the outside and we'll do something different with it. So that's what happened with that. Okay. Now, you know what time it is. It's What in Tar Nation? I only have 4 stories for you. They're interesting. Not too funny. Well, maybe a little funny. Woman driving toy truck pulled over, arrested for public intoxication in South Carolina. Walhalla, South Carolina. Police in South Carolina pulled over a woman driving a child's Power Wheels truck on the street. Walhalla Police Chief Sean Brinson said officers arrested 25-year-old Megan Holman Monday. She was charged with public intoxication. Brinson told WYFF officers responding to the scene after someone called authorities about a suspicious person. He said Holman was about a mile from her home at the time of the arrest, and she was under the influence of a narcotic. You think? I did see a story update this morning. She is not going to be charged with anything. Basically, they're letting her go on her own recognition, which to me sounds like she may have enrolled in. A lot of places have a drug program, and they'll drop the charges if you pass and go through this drug program. So it kind of sounds like that was the deal with that one. Now this one, I love this story. Pit bull hijacks police officer's patrol car. Man's best friend. Kilgore, Texas. The life of a police officer is never boring. That is absolutely true. A Kilgore police officer was trying to round up a stray pit bull over the weekend when he got outsmarted by the canine. The officer thought he could quickly capture it without calling animal control. He opened his back door and tried to coax the critter into the back seat, which is caged. In his haste, the police officer also left the driver's door open. A post on Kilgore Police Department's Facebook said, Cujo decided he wasn't going to jail and instead jumped into the front seat. The officer encouraged the dog to get out, but when it became aggressive, he shut the door so neither one of them would get hurt. The officer's car has been hijacked. The critter wasn't coming out, the post said. He was now enjoying the AC and the officer's beef jerky. Things get serious when a police officer's beef jerky is at risk. No one is pleased, it seemed. He ain't, and neither am I, the officer texted dispatch, along with a picture of the smiling dog making itself at home in the front of the patrol car. In the end, everything did turn out okay. An animal control officer soon arrived at the scene and took Cujo into custody. The only injury sustained in this incident was to the officer's pride, the department post said, and maybe his beef jerky. I don't like it when somebody eats my beef jerky. It's mine. Now this next page, a couple of things I've printed out. This next page is about traffic signs. In Houston, a traffic sign was hacked to warn of global warming at work. A digital traffic sign in Houston was apparently hacked to display apocalyptic messages warning of a climate catastrophe. The sign located at Wall Drive and Allen Parkway. I saw Allen, and in my mind I read alien. Was spotted early Wednesday flashing messages, including global warming at work. Warning, hurricane human. Triassic weather ahead. And we are the asteroid. It was unclear how the hacker gained access to the signs. Signs along a North Carolina highway were hacked in a similar fashion in May of 2018, when drivers noticed the signs were displaying messages warning of idiots on bikes ahead of the local Ironman competition. Another sign in Pennsylvania was hacked that same month with a rude message instructing Delaware County to perform a lewd act with a sex organ. Gotta beware of those hackers. They can do things, they can drive you nuts. And this last story. Bear rescued from inside New Mexico water tank. Now, I read that, and as I read that, I said to my husband, how the heck did he get in the water tank? Now, I'll be honest, I was thinking of the city water tanks. You know, they're usually pretty high. Wouldn't somebody see the bear climbing up the ladder? You know? Anyway, this is a smaller tank. Conservation officers in New Mexico conducted an unusual rescue when a bear opened the lid of a water tank and climbed in for a swim. The New Mexico Department of Game and Fish said a rancher checked on a water tank in the Guadalupe Mountains during the weekend and discovered the lid had been open. The rancher discovered a 250-pound black bear who had apparently climbed a ladder, opened up the lid, and climbed into the tank for some water. Speaking of water. The department said the tank was not full and the bear was able to stand with its head above water until conservation officers were able to rope it out. The bear was found to be uninjured and released. Can you imagine a 250-pound bear in your water tank? And I'm sure that bear was thinking, how am I going to get out of here? Makes you wonder how long that bear was in there. There is only one thing that I would like to add to this. We have a lot of members who are going through some really tough times right now. You know, Dana of Tabitha's Treasures, she is going through a little bit of a rough time. She's still hospitalized. She has that infection on her leg, and you know, after the skin graft, you hope for the best, but sometimes things happen. So keep her in your prayers. Also think of Sylvia. Keep her in your prayers as well. I believe she's got some broken bones in her ankle. So let's keep her in our thoughts and prayers. Teresa Patton. She is in the hospital with an infection as well. So, again, that's another gal we need to think of. And then, of course, Llama Mama Kayla is in the hospital. They did discover that she has some arteries that are thinning down that's causing the mini strokes. So hopefully now that they know what's going on, they can also keep an eye on that and maybe open up the blood work a little bit better so, you know, she doesn't have those issues ongoing all the time. And of course her husband Jody, you know, he's got that Achilles heel injury and broken bones in his foot. You know, I'm not sure how you can leave a piece broken off in the foot, but apparently you can. guess it's like a bullet. Sometimes you just leave them where they're at and they get encapsulated. And of course, we want to keep the Millers in our thoughts and prayers. Holly's husband of the Proper Pineapple and Everyday Pineapples has found that her husband needs a kidney transplant. So they're going through some dialysis and getting worked up for that and getting put on, disability. And of course, anyone that goes through dialysis knows how tiring it is. Um, you feel bad and you get the dialysis, you feel good for a little bit after you recuperated from the dialysis itself. It's generally, I don't know of any that are less than 3 times a week, although I do have a friend that only goes twice a week. But she has been doing dialysis for many years. So, and of course, they try to decide what kind of dialysis they're going to do. So that's a whole big rigmarole as well. So let's keep them in our prayers. She is updating folks on the Everyday Pineapple YouTube channel. And I'm going to say this. Sometimes we think we know what God has in store for us. So we go ahead and make those plans because that's where God's leading us. And then God sits back and laughs at us and changes our plans. So, yeah. Let's keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers. If there's anybody else that needs it, I'm going to also mention Lilybeth Hugo. I would keep her in our thoughts and prayers. I do know that I've contacted her through email. And the last that I heard is that she's been having a really rough time, kind of bedridden. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers as well. And yeah, let's hang in there. Do the best we can. And as always, I'll see you again soon. The bags are not going up into the shop until later on this evening. I have a day trip on Wednesday. So if you purchase any of the bags, there will be other bags as well that I'm finishing up this evening. There will be other bags as well. If you do choose to purchase them, know that they will be mailed out Thursday or, later on in the week if you choose to purchase. Everybody, I hope you have a great week. And, yeah, remember, choose kindness. Bye.